Hey FLOSSTUBE, it's Leigh from Creatively on Sunday the 9th of February 2025 with FLOSSTUBE number 256. Welcome back to my weekly YouTube channel about counted cross stitch on this windy but sunny summer's morning in Upper Hutt, the Wellington region of New Zealand. It's 11:32. I'm taking a break from work. Yes, I'm working. I've got a meeting at 2 p.m. with the devs. I've just basically sent a whole bunch of retesting back to them, so we'll meet at 2 to discuss how we're going to move forward with that. I don't know, I'm kind of close to my wit's end at the moment regarding getting these bloody workflows over the line, but we shall see. Yeah, good to have a break anyway. I'm going to do this video and then have something to eat while I edit it, and then yeah, probably won't get much more testing done. I've kind of run out of things to test until 2 p.m. So that is just how it is at the moment. I had a pretty good week last week. I was at home all of the week. Thursday was Waitangi Day, so a public holiday here in New Zealand. I did do some work though. Again, some more testing, retesting, failed testing, just to try and get. Anyway, I feel like the work I did on Thursday, we just haven't progressed, and it's really frustrating. So apart from working and having Thursday off, but still doing some work and just pottering around, I haven't really done a heck of a lot apart from quite a bit of stitching because I didn't go anywhere this week, and quite a bit of reading, and sort of, I guess, was a bit hermity. I'm probably going to catch up with a colleague or two, or a former colleague or two this week. I just have to try to organise calendars. Like, oh, there's a monarch butterfly outside. Oh, anyway, I'm distracted now by the monarch butterfly. oh no, I thought there were two. No, it was just the same one. It moved. I don't know what I was talking about now. Never mind. Yeah, so try and catch up with a couple of people this week. But yeah, trying to organise calendars, that's what it was. Coordinate calendars. So I'm a little bit flexible in my work, but you know, not everyone is. Also, my washing machine broke last week, so I do have the technician booked for Wednesday, I think. So I think it was last Wednesday I went to put a load of like some sheets on, and it made a weird noise and flashed up an error message, which according to the interwebs is error 49 on what I would call a vintage Fisher & Paykel smart drive. So it's something to do with the hot and or cold water sensor and or seal and or something to do with some motor function. So I'm like, so I'll borrow, I thought I might need to do some laundry. Luckily I did all my towels on the Tuesday. That might have been what killed it. So I'm probably fine until Wednesday. I can use a neighbour's machine if I need to, but that's a bit frustrating. I don't want to buy a new washing machine. Hopefully the fix is like, you know, $150, $200 or something. Fine. If it's going to cost more than $200, then nah, it's a really old washing machine. And I feel like that's probably too much money to spend on it, given that I think I only paid like $300 for it secondhand and refurbished back in like, oh, it's after I went to Morocco, moved back into my other house, like 2013, I think is where, or like 2012 is when I bought my secondhand washing machine. I'm weird, can't remember people's names, but I can remember when stuff happened and dates and stuff, so I'm weird like that. That's pretty much it. That's the most exciting thing, and not in a good way, that's happened this week, was the damn washing machine broke. should we talk about some stitchy stuff, since this is supposedly a YouTube channel about counted cross stitch? I have a little bit of happy mail. I did make a purchase this week through Ribbon Rose. I've had these on Notify Me. They've been out of stock for ages, and I had clicked the Notify Me button like, crikey, it could be like at least 6 months ago. But anyway, I've just wanted these two Bewitching Pixies, but these are the two, what do you call them? Silhouette ones. So we've got Claire and Evanora, and I love these two. I've stitched 3 of the smaller Bewitching Pixies, Ava, Anna and Gigi, and I've also got the one that's sitting in a chair with a glass. I can't remember her name. I've got her to stitch. She's the only slightly bigger, and then I want these two. So I got them, and of course the bead packs as well. So they, when they came up as on the note of that they were back in stock, it said they only had two packs available. So I grabbed one of each. They're in DMC 310. I do need to get a Karen and a Krennic. The Krennic is used in backstitch only. I might even have something in my stash that'll work. So I think the Krennic is only used in backstashing these whatchamacallits, and I think I might have something. It looks like black, sparkly black. I'm pretty sure I have something I could probably use. I'll have a look. And there is Karen Ward Lilies in both of them, which I haven't looked to see if I've got. But it's mostly DMC 310. I might use Flosh. We'll have a look. But anyway, no hurry. They were out of stock for such a long time. Oh, this is the one I've got. Witching Hour. These are printed backwards. I've got the Witching Hour as well to stitch, and I've got 3 Bewitching Pixies, the smaller ones. But I am happy with that. So that was a bit of a kind of an impulse, but again, I'd been tracking it for ages, and finally they came in, and I feel like I've got enough now. By the time I stitch those 2 and the Witching Hour, and then the other 3 I talked about, that 6 would make a nice little witchy cluster, you know, black frames one day. So I feel like that's enough Bewitching Pixies unless something really amazing comes out. Bought this from Ribbon Rose, and Paula, who is the moderator of this group, can't remember the exact name of it, but it's a local New Zealand based Facebook group for, you know, stitchy exchange, purchase, giveaway, recycle, upcycle, whatever. Paula works at Ribbon Rose, and I had earlier in the week one of my other stitchy friends that said, oh, I'm at Ribbon Rose, anyone need anything? I'm like, I literally just purchased something. And she said, oh yeah, I was talking to Paula, she packed your order. And Paula put in a wee note for me, and it was beautiful. Just it's so nice. Like, I'm not going to read out the thing, it's quite personal, but thank you, Paula. I did try and message you on Messenger, and I'm not sure if it went through. We are friends on Facebook, but it said it couldn't deliver it. I tried again, and then it said it couldn't deliver it, and now it sort of says it might have delivered one. So I don't know if you got my heartfelt thanks, but thank you so much. Your note means so much to me, and yes, it did bring me joy. 100%. Thank you. I mean, cute little note, just a wee little note. And it just says, yeah, really kind words, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yay for spreading joy. Thank you for packing my charts in such a lovely manner. They were in a box. So that's from Ribbon Rose. Also, earlier in the week, I received a surprise little bit of happy mail, totally unexpected. And from Sherry, one of my subscribers, and again, just a little package, and just a lovely card, And what do I just have a lovely note. She enjoys my floss tube, just wanted to say hi and just sent me a few little things that she said she had in her stash and isn't going to use, so she's passed them on. And I will show you what they are. So a couple of flosses. I think you watch Rara as well. Presidential Blue, that's, you know, Rara's favourite colour. That's Rara's sort of taking a break from FLOSSTUBE, Rara's stitching realm, but she loves the Presidential Blue. I don't have any Presidential Blue from Gentle Art, so happy to have that. And then a skein of their Weekstyworks Pearl, which is in the colour Caper. I don't know how I would use that, but I'd find a way. I like just fibres and textures, so really just having it and touching it brings me joy. A lovely fat quarter, maybe, if it's not cut yet, fat quarter of dirty linen from Zweigart, which is great. I do love me a nice neutral, a nice dark neutral, so I think that's in 36 count. And then she passed on a couple of charts. I've just got a couple of stickers that have stuck to it. Some of the decoration that was on the card came off on the envelope. First up, and she had said in a note that, you know, I'm welcome to pass these on as well. I'll probably pass this one on because while cute, it is not my cup of tea. So I'll probably do a giveaway a little bit later in winter or something with, you know, a couple of charts. So this is, it's hard to read the black writing on the red. It is from Les Petits Croix, little cross stitch, little crosses. It's called Happy Christmas. It's from the seasonal collection, from Les Petits Croix de Lucie. That's the address for the designer, and there's the design there. So a sort of Mickey Mouse-ish-esque shape filled with lovely Christmas motifs. So yeah, I think that's very cute. Just, yeah, not my cup of tea, but I'm sure there's someone out there that would like that. So we'll just put that away and probably do a pass it on later in the year. Still recovering from all the postage I sent in December for my whatever it was, 5-year giveaway. That was like, you know, nearly $200 worth of postage, so we're just still recovering from that. But this one I absolutely love, and she sent this to me. It is from Loxley Designs. It's a Jacobean scene. I 100% love the design. I probably would change the colours because there's a lot of lime green, but it's amazing. I absolutely love it. So it's, yeah, it's very, very cute. Charted in DMC, and it has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 colours. So not too bad, and it's only a digital mock-up. It's going to look 100% better than that because digital mock-ups kind of suck. But that way you've got, if you like the mock-up, then you know you're going to really love the thing when it's stitched. So I appreciate that. So thank you very much, Sherry, and again for your lovely words and for sharing some of these things with me. Very keen to put this one in my one-day pile, and I probably would have some fun. You know what? I actually don't mind the colours. I think once I pull the colours and have a look at them, yeah, who knows? It's not this week. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so I did stitch on a few things. So first of all, I decided to carry on with Frances Sweetlove 1827 from Street Stitchworks. Just in the evenings, the Sunday night, Monday after work, a little bit in the lunchtime. And I finished it. I I kept going. So on the 6th of February, so on Thursday in the morning on Waitangi Day, I put in an extra row and I just stapled to the back of it because I stitched this with my own colours. So again, 40 count oyster linen from Country Stitch, and then using my own threads, and which included Steelworks Okefenokee, Tommy Lily Sapin Bleu, and Victoria Motto Sample Shop Prim Cupboard. And I used 2.5 skeins of the Okefenokee, not that much of the Prim Cupboard, and the Victoria Motto, they're like huge 20 metre skeins, I think, so they last a long time. And then of the Tom and Lily, which is 8 metre skein, that's how much I just stapled to the back of the thing. That's how much floss I had left. I like thread chickened the sucker out of that, and I'll show you where I thread chickened it. Like it's this tiny, it's like 5 inches of one strand. I just thought that was kind of funny just to staple at the back of the card because, you know. I'll show you the design finished. Ta-da! So when you last saw it, I had stitched up to, because of course bottom up. I'll show you the whole thing first. There it is. Maybe we'll grab a screenshot. I had stitched up to that lowercase. All of the lowercase was done. So I had from the Greek key up to stitch, and I just started stitching, and then I just kept stitching. So that whole top half above the 4-sided stitch, all of the decorative rows in between the Okefenokee, or the dark letters Okefenokee, that was the green, so the one that I only had one thing left of, the Sapin, no, yeah, Sapin Bleu. And then the top row of those rows of eyes, well, they look like eyes, but because it wasn't in the alphabet, I decided to use the blue, which I've already forgotten what that one is. That's the Prim Cupboard, the Victoria Motto, just because I had the blue in the large eyelet alphabet and a little bit in her name, my grandmother's name. But at the bottom of it, they had, with the chart, there was this extra row at the bottom of the chart, and I stitched that in the green. That's the Sapin Bleu. And then I decided I'm pretty sure I had enough floss left, like less than 12 inches of, 6 strand. It was like I had like maybe three and a half strands of the 12 inches. So I decided I might as well use up the floss and put the same row in the top, just because, I hadn't already stitched enough. Why not stitch a whole nother row? But just to kind of give it almost a bookend. And that's where I had just enough. And I was like, I would have been really annoyed if I'd got nearly done and I ran out, because then I would have had to unpick the whole thing. So I don't have any more of this, that Tom and Lily colour. I don't have any more of it. And I was like, I'm sure I can make it work. So I did, and I'm really happy with it. So again, I personalised this for my paternal grandmother, Elizabeth Beryl Green. She was born, then married my grandfather and became Elizabeth Beryl McDonald. That's her down there. So she was born, and actually she died in Whakatane on the officially 8th of May, although she thought she was the 7th of May. To be fair, going through all of Dad's stuff, I have found 2 birth certificates, one for her. One does say the 7th of May, one does say the 8th of May. So not actually sure what date she was born. Records back in the, when was that? 1915, apparently was pretty like, 7th, 8th, who cares? And to be fair, doesn't really matter, only if you care about astrology, which I don't. The irony being, this is full of like astrological signs, so it's kind of ironic that these astrological signs, the planets and the moons and stuff, are all based on, like over here, are kind of based on, a particular date and time where you are in the universe. And I don't really care. And also, we're not sure what day she was actually born. So it's almost like ironic. These things that are really specific. Although, do you know what they're saying like now, because those were based, at the point in time when the zodiac was determined, you know, it was decided it was 12, and it was based on when in the sky certain constellations were visible. But because of the way everything moves and rotates and stuff, all those constellations are not in the sky at the same time now. Like we're at least one zodiac sign removed now. So actually, like, I'm a Capricorn, but Capricorn's not in the sky at the same time. Actually, I should be an Aquarius based on where the constellations are. And also now there's talks about a 13th. I don't really care. It's just interesting. Random. So this is me. I put so much thought and meaning into weird things that only I know about. But I do plan, when I get these framed, on the back of them, like, because especially when I've taken a reproduction, I've changed it or I personalised it. I haven't done this yet, but I'm planning to do it for all of the pieces that I do for my family, to then link back to why that person's name, and to note, hey, this wasn't stitched by Elizabeth Beryl McDonald in Whakatane, Elizabeth Beryl Green in Whakatane in 1915. It was stitched in 2020, whatever, by granddaughter as a kind of memorial for that person. And anything where I've, changed it, picked the colours, whatever, for anyone who's interested in the future. Like, when it ends up in an op shop and someone picks it up and goes, oh, that's interesting. They're doing a FLOSSTUBE in 2025. Oh, I am doing 2025, 2035, 2095, whatever it might be. Who knows? I don't really care, but for now it means something to me. Anyway, so getting back to her name. So she was born Elizabeth Beryl Green, and she went by the name Beryl. So I I stitched her name in green, thinking like Beryl Green, as in the colour Beryl, the colour green, although Beryl Green's lighter than that, not that green, but fuck's sake. But I put her name in the green because she went by Beryl, even though she was Elizabeth Beryl. Blah, blah, blah. And I tweaked the end of it. I added a couple of doofers that weren't quite in the chart, because her name is a little bit shorter than the chart, which was Francis Sweetlove, and then the place that was in it was longer as well. Anyway, finally finished it. That was one of my sampler starts in 2023 for the hashtag Sash Sampler Starts. Happy to have that done. There's a lot of stitching in this. As I've said a million times before, do not stitch this one if you aren't fond of alphabets, because there are a lot of letters, but they do go really fast. So I'm really happy to have that done. So yeah. Oh, that was that one. On Waitangi Day, I thought I didn't bring the chart. I was planning to start Spring House. I did start it. False start. This is the Hello by Liz Matthews, and it's the 2 fabrics. I should have tested it before I cut the damn fabric. It's too light. The fabric's too light. That's the ecru. You can see it, but you can't tell it's a fence. It's the bottom half of a fence. Yes, I stitched that much before I gave up. I actually stitched a little bit of that, pulled it out, stitched it with Blanc, pulled that out, stitched it back with that. I went, no, it's still too light. I did do a sample in the corner. I should have done this first, but no, just to check Blanc. So over here, you can barely see a little 9 patch of Blanc and a little 9 patch of ecru, both too light. This fabric's too light for this design. There's quite a lot of white in that bottom. I did go through my 35 count stash to see what I had, if there was anything that I just thought that was the right color. And I think this will work, except this scrap is too small. This is 35 count Ocean Blue by Country Stitch, and I need to do a 9 patch on it, but I'm pretty sure this will work. So this is not enough. Like, I don't need this much. I allowed 2.5 inches, but I need about that much stitching room plus some border for framing and a little bit for stitching. And this is like enough for the stitching area, but there's not enough for a border. So I'm going to do a test stitch on this scrap, and then I will order like probably a small cut, because I only need this width by whatever. So Catherine's really kind from Country Stitching. She is kind, but she is she will do small cuts. So if you want an overdyed piece of fabric but a small piece, so a small cut is like half of a fat eighth. So she will dye a fat eighth or a small cut for you. So if you ever want like a really bold color or something, you think, I don't really want a whole fat quarter, but I want a little piece of something, then Catherine is happy to dye small cuts. So it's really great, especially when linen's super expensive and you don't want a huge piece of a particular color because you only want it for one project. Reach out to Catherine at Country Stitch, because she does small cuts, fat eighths, fat quarters, and however much, and also custom cuts within reason. I think, you know, if you wanted a really ridiculous slither, that might not happen. But so false start, I will order, I'll wait till after retreat. We've got retreat coming up. I'll order at least a small cut, maybe a fat eighth of Ocean Blue. Ocean Blue is what I stitched, what's her name? The Stitchy Goddess on, and that was just a little bit from the top and all the side, and yeah. Blah, blah, blah. I really struggle with getting blues. You might recall I did a bit of a plan to do 3 starts on blue fabrics, and I aborted 2 of them because the one with the fabric was, I don't like the fabric. I gave it away in the end at the retreat in August, and I just was like, I'm not gonna stitch on this. It was too widely patchy and the light bits were too light. And then I also then decided the other one was too purpley. Oh, that's the bit I gave away. I don't know what I'm talking about. I gave that one away. So I've had 2, I just struggle to get blues right, but that's fine. There was another project. Yeah, when I did the Lighthouse, the Silver Creek Samplers Lighthouse, I can't remember what it's called, and I had Catherine dye like 3 or 4 pieces of fabric for that before I was happy with, I couldn't get, it's hard to articulate what you see in your head. And in the end, she did Halloween Smoke, but a darker, like slightly darker, and it was just perfect. So, but yeah, I did actually go through 4 pieces of blue fabric before I settled on that. I'm usually not that fussy, but I think blue's just a really hard one. Like if it's not right, it's not right. So I don't even know. I'm less fussy about beigey fabrics, which luckily I stitch mostly on, I think. I don't even know if that's true or not. Okay, blah, blah, blah. So with that false start, I then was like, oh, what should I stitch on? So then I decided to pick up my Wall Art Block 6, which I started on the 25th of January. This is a Just Love stitch kit, all kit materials, although I was stitching 3 strands of DMC instead of 2. This is one of the wall blocks, and I meant to get it FFO'd yesterday and I didn't, but I actually finished this. I just stitched it. It took me 2 evenings because I was just filling in with the beigey colour. So that was like 100% mindless stitching, so I got that finished. I had said I would finish this in February. I just need to FFO it. I might do that shortly, actually, because I just need to get some PVA and glue the sides on and rubber band it and just let it dry. And then what I did with the last one is I put a bead of hot glue around the inside just to keep it really sturdy. That's my back. Not bad considering starting finishing on wood is a pain in the ass. Really happy with it. So that was, yeah, that was Thursday and Friday. I just managed to finish that off. It's not all my stitching. I did more. Then I think, what day is it? Sunday. I think this was Friday as well. So Friday night, I thought, well, I better pick up some more of my monthly stitching. So I grabbed my Procession of Princesses, one of my leap year sale starts projects. This is by Vivsters, artwork based on Vittorio Secchi's artwork. And I'm over the 25%, 1 year in the bag. I needed, oh, that was on, where's my card? 20 count ivory linen from Zweigart using charted DMC, including the Devil's Thread. So it calls for one of the DMC metallics, which actually there's about over 1,000 stitches in this piece in that metallic. So luckily not in a big block as far as I'm aware, but little sparkly stuff. So I'm going to persist with it. You know, we all hate it, but it's in my stash and I might as well use it. So I stitched, this one has a monthly goal of around 1,700 stitches. I stitched 1,722 stitches. I was already slightly over my monthly target at the end of January. So I'm now on 20,437 stitches against my target to be a quarter done, 20,400. So I am officially 25% done on Procession of Princesses. We are 1 year in, 3 to go. Love this project. Love the fact that I get to sit with it for 4 years. Totally could carry on if I wanted to. I'll show you where we're at and then I'll talk about what we did. So that's where we're at now. That is just a tad over 25% done. What did I do? Okay, so I filled in a couple of sections that I had left last time. So last time I didn't have the dark green in here and I filled this in as well. So the fill-in of both of these, of the solid fill-in, and then this one has some sparkle in it. So you probably won't be able to see, but there are tiny little individual sparklies in the center of those circles, and then it's hard to see it maybe. There are some kind of lighter flowers in a tonal lighter color, and there's little gold in the centers of those. So just a tiny little bit of sparkle, very subtle, very pretty, like little stars. And then the rest of the 1,700 odd stitches was just a whole bunch of black. So I filled in a lot of, so I mean it's not even that big, it's relatively unwieldy. Folding. Okay. And then I did kind of in here, a lot of the black in this area here, just to keep filling in more black and stuff. So love it. There's a heap more of this fabric in this section, and I think in this section, let's have a look. Oh yeah, so it's just that bit there is just in the middle, and the rest of her kind of kimono gown thing is more of that one that I've already stitched. So we'll probably carry on with that next time maybe. I don't know. I love this design so much. It was an impulse buy when I bought it because I had already had that women in profile, still to stitch on that in February, by artwork by Vittorio Secchi, and then I had, that was an impulse that I felt that wasn't a big enough project for 4 years. So anyway, I love that so much. Chart's great, and the colors are just, I don't know, chef's kiss. It's amazing. And then yesterday afternoon, because I'd had a failure on starting Spring House, and I know a whole bunch of you were like so excited to see it, and so am I. And I might still start the dark part, though, I don't have to do the bottom first. I might still start the house, the dark, 3/4 of it, and because I'm happy with that fabric. We'll see. Anyway, I pulled out the bunch of things to get started next a few weeks ago. Here's in the lineup to get started. I had no particular start date for this. Apparently it was yesterday. So I pulled out my second chart for the Bellas. So Bella Rose and Bella Hydrangea. I was visiting with my friend Karen the other day. She just moved house and she was like, winter's coming, and she likes to stitch in winter, and I had promised her these charts. So I said, yep, I'm definitely going to start it. They don't take me that long. So all as charted at this stage, on 32 count white linen. So I've got this one card for all four. These are the two I've stitched previously. So Bella Butterfly and Bella Bee. Bella Bee I stitched in 2021. Bella Butterfly in 2022. I had no idea it's been 3 years since I started that. So I started Bella Rose yesterday on the 8th of February. She's the palest of the, I think she's an English rose. I got quite a lot done while I was watching Don't Call the Midwife. I never watched Don't Call the Midwife. Call the Midwife. Please call the midwife. Something about calling the midwife. I never watched it, and I started watching it this year. And I just watched the Christmas episode for season 3. It's quite a lot of watching, and it's only we're 6 weeks in, but binge watching while I stitch. That's where I'm at. She looks a bit weird. She looks a little bit Princess Leia at the moment. Obviously there's roses and some darker hair. So I started with the border, then I did all the aqua sort of background, then I put the leaves in, and then because I could, I did the back stitching for the leaves because that was already all stitched. Got his skin in. She looks a bit naked without her lips and her eyes, but I'll probably do them last because I do like doing that last. I know some people would like to do the face first. I like doing the face last. And then there's still some highlights in her hair I've got to do. Or some low lights. There's some darker in here, lighter in here, and then the rest of it is pretty much flowers and then some beads. She isn't going to take that long, people. Like I totally could finish her, and I might finish her today because there's not that much to do. I estimate I've got between 2/3 and 3/4 done, and then once she has a face, she'll look lovely. So at least I'll get Bella Rose. I'll get Bella Rose finished this week, today probably. I haven't even pulled all the floss. I literally what do I need? I've gone to my stash, pulled the next 2 colors, for the hair. I did the background, I did the border, and then I was like, oh, I'll carry on with the background. So I went and pulled the background, did all that. Then I went and pulled the leaves, and that's the only place that color is. Then I put the colors back. Then I pulled those 2 colors for her hair. Next, I pulled the next 2 colors for her hair, and then the 4 or 5 colors I need for the roses. I'm not even getting it up. I'll pull that color, stitch it, put it away. Pretty freaking random, really. So what was that? I had 2 finishes, a big finish and a wee finish, a false start, and progress on my leap year sale. So a lot of stitching, yeah, the no commute thing, and they're not going anywhere, directly translated into me getting quite a bit done. Couple of other things I wanted to talk to you about before I wrap this up. Oh my god, I'm ramming on, man. I do talk. A couple of retreats are coming up next year. So get your name. Check out the New Zealand Cross Stitch Facebook group. That is a good place to go, and that is only available. It is only open to New Zealanders or expat New Zealanders or people who have lived in New Zealand who aren't New Zealanders. You have to have have a presence or have had a presence in New Zealand to be a member of that. But the retreats get kind of announced on there, and then once you've registered, usually you get access to a retreat-specific Facebook group, but that retreat-specific Facebook group doesn't really get set up until you've registered. So if you are not from New Zealand or not on that group, but you do want to come to one of the retreats, I'll tell you who to reach out to. Okay, just giving you a date so there's an Auckland retreat has been announced. So we've never had one in Auckland. It's been organised by Sandy, Jess, and oh god, I've forgotten, I'm so sorry. But they've announced that there will be a retreat in Newland in Auckland the 21st and 22nd of February 2026. They haven't opened registration yet, so if that's something you might be interested in, then either join the New Zealand Cross Stitch Facebook group if you're eligible to join. If for whatever reason you're not able to join that, like you might be not a New Zealander, but you might be interested in coming to New Zealand for that retreat, then reach out to one of these people, send them a message on Facebook. I think that they're going to put the registration open in April of this year, giving people plenty of time to plan for travel. Again, it's going to be based somewhere in Newland, so it gives you an idea around accommodation and stuff. I think they're going to look at about 100 attendees, and registration will be less than $100. So there's still details to be sorted, but just put that in keep an eye out for that if you're interested. Now, Debbie Angel, who organised last year's Christchurch Stitchy retreat and has one this March as well. 4 weekends from now we're going to that. That's the 8th and 9th of March. I think she's definitely fully sold out, but if you want to get on a wait list or for any spots that might open up at short notice, then reach out to Debbie Angel from Angel Crafts. So Debbie announced that she's pretty keen to make this an annual event, her Christchurch retreat, but she is fully supportive of more retreats for people, and I think she's sort of commented to say she would look at maybe holding her Christchurch one next April rather than March, to give a little bit of a gap between Auckland and Christchurch. So again, if you're really keen, she won't open up registration for that until sometime after we've had the March retreat. But again, just for planning, if you're interested in going to either Auckland or Christchurch next year, there looks like there'll be retreats for you in the first, like in late summer, early autumn. So you might want to start saving your pennies. And yeah, just keep an eye out on that. Again, keep an eye out on the New Zealand Cross Stitch Facebook group if you're interested in that. As for the Christchurch one in March, really looking forward to heading down on the evening of the afternoon of Friday the 7th. I'm going to stay with Jude, which is going to be fun, and we will have hijinks, I'm sure, and it will be lovely to attend that. At this stage, I don't even know. We say this now. At this stage, I'm not ready to commit to either retreat next year, only because I still intend to travel to Europe in 2026, UK and Ireland, and Western Europe, and maybe Eastern Europe. I don't even know. I want to go everywhere. So my focus is probably going to be on overseas travel next year. It's ridiculous to say we're only in February 2025 and we're already planning next year, but we'll see. We'll see what we'll do. I probably won't go to both. If I go to one, I'll have to pick one. I don't know. We'll worry about it later. But at this stage, I kind of want to prioritise, any spending towards overseas travel. So we'll see. Yeah, well, that was the retreat information for you. I haven't been watching a lot of FLOSSTUBE lately. I just haven't had the time. I mean, watched 3 seasons of Call the Midwife, but I'm watching Call the Midwife and enjoying that because it's gentle and relaxing, but I really enjoy it. It's just, the characters are lovely, and I kind of like that it's based on a memoir, and so it has elements, it's a dramatized stories built around, a midwife's memoirs. So that's kind of fun that there's this element of this is, meant to reflect the lives that these people had through, the 50s, I guess. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go. I don't even know. I appreciate you all for coming along and watching me every week. There's a lot out there to watch. And I don't watch a lot of YouTube because I spend so much time making YouTube. And you know, we have a precious number of hours and we've got to make a decision on how we spend it. So I really appreciate you when you come along and watch me. So thank you so much. And also the fact that I just always have really nice comments. So I love that I don't have to fight off, you know, deal with nasty comments and trolls and all that sort of thing. So I feel very blessed that I have a great crew here in the comment section. Great bunch of subscribers. So thank you for choosing to spend some time with me. Have a little bit of chop out. I went on a big ramble about something which is absolutely nonsense. So I'll probably kick up maybe 4 or 5 minutes out of this, but right now it's showing 51 minutes. That's quite a lot. So that could take a while to edit and upload, which I really, really do enjoy that part of the video making process. So yeah, cheers to you all, and yeah, have a good week. I will see you next Sunday, and check out the doobly-doo if you need any contact details, or if you want to buy me a coffee or two, or if you just want to check out any of the details about any of the projects that I showed. I always put in the description box 99% of the time, because I have forgotten on occasion, but I always put in there the project that I show, the chart, the fabric, you know, any of the details that I know about the thing that I'm stitching, so you can go find it yourself if you are interested in doing that. Take care, and as always, don't let your needles rust. Ciao.